Yo, good day, gents, and welcome to another episode of Father's Fire. My name's Jody Cedric, as you know, and every week we get together to explore the joys, the challenges, the triumphs, the sorrows, and yes, the fun of being a dad. And you guys know I'm always scouring the internet, social media. I'm always looking for dads who are invested, they're present, they're having fun with their kids. And I came across another dad that's really into his daughter and being a dad. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to him, see if he'll be my guest. So please welcome Angel Guiterrez. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity. It's really something new for me, something definitely new. This is the first time I ever do something like this. So I'm ready. I'm excited, a little nervous. Don't know what to expect, but
No need to be nervous, man. We're just two dudes having a conversation about being a dad,
yeah, definitely.
right? And I love it. So those of you guys that are on TikTok, well, if TikTok sticks around, but
Yeah.
I love TikTok. I love Instagram. I love all of it, right? And so Angel has a great little TikTok channel called Angel and Penny, and there she is, his cute little daughter. So let's talk about that, because before we got on screen, you're like, you know what, I created this TikTok with a purpose. So I want to talk about that purpose because I think it's really cool.
Yeah, so I just started doing TikToks about a few months ago, probably like 6 months ago. I started it all as a memory book for her, actually. So once me and her mother we separated, I wanted to make something for her to have to look back on our activities together. Just because, you know, myself growing up, my parents, they had everything on VHS tapes, and we had to bring out, you know, the big player and the rewind machine and everything. And we would sit there through a lot of footage, a lot of dead silence and footage of, you know, 10, 20, 30 minutes, and just to see about 5 minutes in total of myself or of what we're trying to see. So I didn't want her to go through that. I didn't want her to see a full 10, 20 minutes of me and her out on dinner, or, you know, taking her to a playground or taking her to different indoor playgrounds, whatever our activities are for the week or for that day. So I started these TikToks and I figured, you know what, let's do a minute, no more than a minute max. And that's how most of our activities, my videos, are. They're as long as a minute, because I just want her to look back and just be able to see everything that we've done together. And obviously, it's not everything we've done together, but you know, those times that we experience different things, new adventures, new places we go to, new foods we try, just random stuff.
You know, it's funny because I totally can relate to getting out the old VHSs, but I even go back even further before VHSs, and we had these big family portrait books, and you'd have to flip through, you know, pages and pages of photos. And it's funny because my kids a while back, they found a bunch of our earlier photo albums, and man, they just were flipping for hours. Oh man, remember this? And it brought back
same thing
so
here.
much laughter and fun memories. And so capturing those moments is really, really critical because it goes so fast.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And then also too, it's just the matter of, although on my videos you see a 1 minute clip of everything, everything's still saved in my, you know, my drive, in my photos, my library. So even if she wants to see the behind the scenes of that video, everything's there. So if she wants to, she'll be able to. That's just in a sense of why I started my channel, why I did what I did. I never expected to get the results that I've gotten so far, but I'm honestly very blessed for that, because it brings a sense of, you know, just happiness, and then just something that you see that there's many other people just like you and going through the very similar situations, and so then you're not alone. That's pretty much what I got out of, you know, that one video. Is just, I hope that one thing everyone can get out of is that you're not alone. You're not the only one struggling. You're not by yourself. There's a ton of other people you can reach out to, and I appreciate you reaching out to me. You know, that's something simple like that. One little thing can just ripple effect to so many big things.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the challenges. I mean, you're recently separated, right? And now you're doing the co-parenting, you're doing this single dad thing. And there's a lot of people in that situation. So what are some of the things that you've worked through and tried to figure out and kind of learned something through the process?
Uh, Sorry about that. She's she almost dropped this, but so I'll be. I've gotten a lot of people. I'll start off with this. I've gotten a lot of other single parents reach out to me, single moms. You're welcome, mama. And single dads, single moms, co-parenting or not co-parenting, and a lot of people have very tough stories. I definitely feel blessed to be in the position I am, at least with co-parenting. Me and her mom, we get along very well. Fortunately, we were able to, talk about her, discuss things about just whatever decisions we want to make raising her. We're able to come to an agreement. We're able to understand each other, not get into arguments, not bump heads. Same thing with scheduling, financial support, everything. We were able to. It took a while. But we were able to get to a point where we realized we wanted to do things in just make things civil, not have any trouble, any arguing. And so a lot of it, I from the start, I just wanted to be everything just to go smoothly, because I didn't want to. I've had friends and family members that are in certain situations that it's tough. They don't see their kids as often, or they can't, or just vice versa, whichever party is the one being stubborn. But as far as co-parenting, I'm very blessed to say I haven't had too many challenges as far as with her mom and raising her. I've had my own internal battles with co-parenting as far as my mental state of mind, health wise, emotionally. It's been tough. I guess the biggest challenges for myself in co-parenting is loneliness, and and if anyone who's watching this has seen the one video that really put me out there, is gonna pretty much, that's what it's about. It's coming home and not having her there every day. That time that she's with her mom, and I'm home from work, or just I come home, and I got used to, for the last almost 2 years, coming home to my daughter and of course her mom. But the biggest thing is just my daughter at this point. Me and her mom, we're friends. We're actually friends, and we talk here and there, and we catch up, and we talk about our lives, just update each other. We're friends, which I love. So the one thing is just now her. That's my biggest challenge, is just the getting used to not always coming home to my daughter.
I think that is something that is it's underestimated, the impact of how for years you've had this little bundle of joy in your life. You've been able to tuck her in bed every single night, read her stories, play with her. And then all of a sudden now, for whatever reasons, you and your significant other have decided that, you know what, we're not a fit.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're coming home to an empty house.
Exactly.
And the loneliness that has to settle in on your heart has to be challenging sometimes. To go, man, it's like where did my purpose go?
Yeah.
Where's my little sunshine? Right. And I think that it's not talked about. It's not an aspect of separation that is talked about, of all of a sudden what I had, and now I'm alone at least part of the time. And I don't think we do a good job. And I don't know how people have worked through that, especially being a support. It's like, all right, how do I support you as a single dad? Because I'm not home when you come home.
Yeah.
Right. And you certainly, most men are going to call up another friend and go, man, I'm really lonely. Can I come hang over? Right. We're just going to call up, and we're going to go, yo, bro, are you working on something? Can I come help you in the garage or something?
Exactly.
Right? It's
Yeah,
not going to be I'm lonely and I need a friend. It's going to be some kind of, hey man, you want to go shoot pool or get a drink, or is there
exactly.
something, you come up with an excuse to get together instead
Yeah,
of really addressing the real issue.
exactly. Yeah, and that definitely in my case, I definitely can agree 100% on that. Those so the way my schedule works, I'm a car salesman, so it's a little tricky. But my daughter spends about 4 nights a week with me. Not the whole day, obviously, because I'm at work, but 4 nights a week with me. Those 3 nights a week, I after work, I don't go straight home for that reason. I just, I go to the gym. That was one thing I had started going to the gym before me and her mom separated, but I kept it going. I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to put that on hold. You're welcome. And then, so I go to the gym after work, and if, afterwards, it's late night. I'm done by 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. It's on a weekday. I work weekends, and just weekdays is just I have one friend, and it's actually her uncle, um, from her mom's cousin. I hang out with him. He's the one I hang out with a lot, just because all my friends, they're we're all adults now. We're all older now. We all have lives. We all have things that we're doing. So he's been a real help through all this too. He's the one that I've been hanging out with the most, and I'll call him up, and he's any given time of day, he's always there. So I'll just tell him, hey, what are we doing tonight? Let's go out tonight, like you said. We'll go out to eat. We'll go grab a drink. We'll go shoot pool, which is a different activity, mainly just drinks and dancing. Um, so that's what kept me out of the house. But even then, at the end of the day, you still gotta come home at one point. So coming home, whether it's 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, or the next day, it's as soon as your head hits that pillow, that's where everything just settles in.
It's kind of interesting because I've been very blessed in that Judy and I've been together 34 years, right? And every once in a while, every 6 months or so, she'll take a girls trip and she'll go, and it's interesting because we are so connected that when I finally go to bed, I can't shut down.
Yeah,
Right. I'm not used to her not being there. And so I will read, I'll work on the computer, I'll watch
yeah,
Netflix way too long, right?
I
And
get
it's because there's something missing,
you. Exactly.
right? And I think, especially for single parents, single dads, they're trying to figure out how to fill that gap,
Hmm.
that vacuum that all of a sudden has been created because of the separation. So I have to give mad props to anybody that is carrying the load of being a single dad. I mean, it's a tough,
Thank you. Yeah.
tough thing, right? But I also, the thing that really attracted me to you and your TikTok was you said, look, I'm a single dad, but I am having fun with my daughter.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Every one of your things, you're like, look, I'm a single dad, but I'm making the most
Yeah.
of this moment and the moments that we have together.
Yeah, exactly, and that's essentially that's what it should be about at that point, And it was very tough in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. When we first separated, I wasn't who I was now. I was in a bad mental state of mind. I actually started going to therapy around that time and still go, but I came one day. I just realized, this isn't fair to her. It's not fair to my daughter for me to be, you know just moping around and not doing anything with her and just sitting there and just crying and just not being the dad she deserves. So at one point it just switched to me and said, you know what? Everything, whatever happened with her mother, that's gone. Everything, okay, we're done, we're separated. Now it's up to you to be a father to her. Give her the dad that she needs, that she deserves, because she's a great kid. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. I love her to death. And it's just, I didn't want. That's what changed my mind. I didn't want her to see me like that. So, yeah, essentially everything just went to her. Everything, just my attention, just everything I wanted to do just went to her. Me and her mom, we actually lived together still 4 months after we separated, try to co-parent under the same roof. After a while, just we ended up having realizing that it wasn't what's best for us. So um, that was when it got really hard. Was when we had to move apart. And but yeah, everything at the end of the day is just everything is for her. And she's a child. She doesn't need to. She's not gonna understand what I'm feeling or why things are going on the way they're going on. Let's just put a smile on that face and keep that smile on that face as much as we can. And that's what I'm trying to do.
I think that's an important thing that you touched on there is I think a lot of times we look at separation as easy, right? It's just like we're going to separate, you're going to go your way, you're going to go my way. But the reality is separation can be really messy. And
Yeah,
as you're trying to separate, like you guys, you're like, you know what, let's try to co-parent for a couple months together under the same roof. And you're like, you know what, this is not working. I mean, it's like we're separated, but we're not.
yeah,
And how are we going to move on if we're still under the same roof and we're still
yeah,
trying to parent? And so trying to define that new normal for each of you and for both of you and your daughter has to be really challenging of trying to define what it looks like now.
yeah, yeah. And it's just
So
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna add just yeah, it's definitely something you never think about. When you're with someone, you don't plan on staying with someone. You don't plan on ever separating. So it was all just new to me, and it was all just something that now how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna be able to parent? Every parent has different parenting tactics, and how are we gonna be able to be the parents that we need to be, but separately? And I think we're still trying to figure that out. I don't think at the end of the day, I don't think you ever really know everything about being a parent. You could be a brand new parent, or you can have a 50-year-old kid, and you're still learning as you go.
Yeah, that is so true, and you will come to realize how true of a statement that is. Because I've talked a lot about how like when Judy and I we had four kids and then we adopted two from Haiti, and I remember going through the process. They made us go through parenting classes, and I'm like, I've already been a parent. Why do I need parenting classes? And I kind of had this arrogance, and boy, did I need those parenting classes because bringing children into your home at an older age that have gone through trauma and loss, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn how to be a different kind of father so that I could be the right father that they needed.
Mhm. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's I've never thought about that. I've never thought about just like what you said. You have to be a different kind of father, and I feel like yeah, um, definitely every kid is different, of course, at the end of the day, and you have to figure out ways to I only have the one, but I have nieces and nephews, and she has six cousins, um, and older and younger. And growing up, I saw my nephew, learn like just the way he was, and the way they would parent him. And now they have a niece, they have a daughter, so they have the two. It's my sister's kids, and it's completely different. It's a completely different raising style as far as it's the same parents, but every kid is different. You have to be a different parent to each kid. And I'm fortunate to just have the one and still learn from that. I don't know if in the future there's gonna be more, or whatever the case is, but um, that's something to think about too. I never thought about that.
So let's talk about in these final moments. You mentioned learning.
Mhm.
What are some things that you've learned moving from being in a relationship to now being, a single dad, co-parenting? What are one or two things that you've learned through the process that you think would be helpful for other dads in a similar situation as you?
Um, I guess so. One thing is just a lot of it's patience. A lot of it is patience, definitely. Of course, a lot of being a parent, whether together or separated, is patience. But now that it's just me and her, I don't live with my family or anything like that. So it's literally just me and her. Um, and it's just when things happen or she does something and she's acting a certain way, like you do get overwhelmed. And at the end of the day, though, it's just you need to be patient with her, with your kid. And it's just you have to be able to control yourself, because they're kids. At the end of the day, it's just they're kids. I think if as adults we're not able to control our emotions, or we're not able to calm ourselves or everything like that, what makes you think a 2-year-old is going to be able to do it? You have to be you have to be able to be that guide for your kid. And so patience definitely is there. And I guess just also just being a single dad is just a lot. And I guess this is more like it looks good on the dads. When I'm out in public and I see like someone sees me and her together, and they don't see her mom around, and they're just like, oh, she's so cute, you're such a good dad, you're doing this and that. And I get all these comments and everything like that. And I just I think I should just, like, I mean, putting it out there is just one thing, is I don't think they're being a good dad is just or being a dad is being a good dad. You know what I'm trying to say? Is so I'm just out running errands. I'm doing the normal day to day that I would do with my kid, with my daughter. And if a dad's doing that, society sees that as, wow, you're a great dad. You're amazing. You're great. And I appreciate the compliments. I do, but I don't think I should get praised, or any single dad should get praised for being a parent. And it's just like, you're doing your job. Because if it was the other way around, the mom role, if the mom was the one doing all that, they're just like, oh, she's just being a mom. And no one's telling her, you're a great mom, you're amazing. Everyone's telling the dad that. Because it's not normal for society to see dads, as you were saying earlier, you've heard a lot of stories of, a lot of dads not being involved or anything like that. And I guess being a single parent is just, I guess, learning to be humble. Just don't think that because everyone's saying that you're a good dad, you're amazing, you're doing great, is you're just doing your job. You're being a parent. Don't expect praise. Oh, excuse me, mama. Sorry, she's don't expect praise for being just a parent to your kid. And I guess it's all been a humbling experience being a single parent, definitely.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate that insight, right? Especially because, as you say, if somebody sees a dad with their kids, they're surprised by it instead of expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm just a dad, right? I'm enjoying being with my kids. Judy and I had a kind of a thing that we did with our kids, is once a month we would take them out for daddy daughter date or a dad son date. Mom would take them out for the mommy daughter date and stuff.
Okay.
And we just made it a habit of doing that, right? And to me, it's about, like you said, being a parent, being present, being engaged, right? It's not like you're wearing a super cape.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like you're wearing a super cape.
Yeah.
And when they turn 13, you're going to feel like you're wearing a super villain cape.
Right.
When they hate you. But that's just part of learning and growing, right? And so I really appreciate that perspective, right? Especially being a single dad. You're like, look, man, I'm just trying to be a dad.
Yeah.
And I'm loving being with my daughter.
Exactly. If it were up to me, I wish I could have her all the time. I could spend every day with her. Of course, that's not the reality of co-parenting. She obviously needs time with her mom and spend the same time as she spends with me as with her mom. And she has an amazing mom. We've never had any issues with her as a mother and everything. We're great. We're friends, and we're able to do everything well. And also just Thank you. Also, just I was going to add, she kind of, you're welcome. Um, it's just, yeah. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. I'm so sorry, but I'll let you. I'll let
No,
you.
that's
Yeah.
okay. No, I appreciate it. And I also appreciate that you're doing the podcast with your
Yeah.
daughter on your lap and
Yeah.
running around you,
Yeah.
right?
You guys are
Because
keeping an eye out. Yeah.
I've had other dads on and in the same situation, and I love that because I think a lot of times we try to rush our kids aside or put
Yeah.
them in front of an iPad and go, all right, I'll be back in a few minutes, instead
Yeah.
of going, you know what? Just be with me. We
Yeah.
we can deal with a little bit of disruption.
Yeah.
It's okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? It's about connecting. It's about sharing your experience. And the thing that I love it is I can see the love and the relationship that you have watching her bounce around and go, Daddy, open
Yeah.
this. And you're like, thank you. Mid sentence, you're like, oh, yeah, you're welcome. Right. And it's just that's to me what a dad is, right? It's just a part of your life and who you are.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's, um, I was 23 when she was born, and I was still very young. Definitely, I'm still young now. I'm 25 now, but um, it's always scary, But that's what I say. As parenting, it's all about learning. I don't think anybody's ever ready to be a parent, and I'm blessed to. As soon as she was, in the picture, my mindset completely changed from who I was at 22 to who I am at 23, and now at 25. And being a parent has definitely taught me many things about life, myself, relationships. Obviously being a parent, it made me appreciate my parents more even then too. So it made me just it opened my eyes to so many different relationships in my life, and it made me just come a lot of self reflection and just realize what to appreciate and what the sacrifices other people have made for you, and just it's a very again it's a very tough job. It's a 24/7 job. Even as a co-parent, it's a 24/7 job. There's never not a moment I'm not thinking about her. I can be out having fun. I can be out at the gym. I can be out, out on a weekend trip. But as soon as you open that phone, most parents have their kid as their screensaver, and you see her right there. And then I text her mom, "Hey, how is she?" Sometimes at night, uh, uh, we want to see her. So a FaceTime call or something just to see my daughter, even if it's for 5 seconds. It's just like being a
That's
parent
cool.
is just, it's an amazing thing, and I love it. And I wouldn't have changed it I wouldn't go back in time. If you gave me the opportunity to go back in time and make some changes, I'd make the same mistakes all over again and just go through what I have to just to be able to be in this position that I am now.
That's awesome, man. Well, I want to thank you
I
for
appreciate
taking the time to visit with me. I mean, this has been such a fun conversation.
this. Yeah.
I mean, it's just been so good. Guys, go out to TikTok, search for Angel and Penny. He's got some great, fun little 60-second clips of him and his daughter. It's really fun. And I just want to thank you for sharing your insight, your wisdom at such a young age,
Yeah.
and most importantly, your passion for being a dad.
Yeah,
So
thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity again. Just for I guess final things to say. Any single parent out there, mom or dad, just hang in there, stay strong. It's never gonna be easy. But if it was easy, then everybody would be doing it. But you're there. You're their person. You're their superhero. You're their world. They are your purpose for becoming a better overall individual, and teaching them, molding them into becoming a great person in this world. So definitely just hang in there, and you're not alone. Even for any together parents in general, just you know, you guys are doing amazing. You guys are there. You guys are raising kids, and don't ever feel like you're never you don't have a purpose, or don't ever feel useless in this, because to them you're everything.
I love that, man. Well, thank you so
Thank
much,
you so much. I appreciate it. You want to say bye?
guys. Penny's gonna say goodbye. Yay! Bye, Penny. She's so adorable. Bye, bye, sweetie.
I appreciate
Yeah.
this so much.
No, thank you. And you guys that are tuning in, thank you so much for joining us every week to have these kind of conversations to help ignite the fire within all of us to be better fathers, to be better men. And you guys know we're going to check you same time, same bad channel, just next week, right here on Father's Fire. See ya!
Bye.